All right, what's good, y'all? Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt you from the video you were watching, but I want to bring you a little special announcement. It's been going on for a bit. We dropped this a couple days ago, maybe even over a week or two ago, but I'm behind. But I finally caught up. I dropped a winter line of merch because A, it's dope, and B, it is a easy way and a fun way, an involved way to support the community, the content on Twitch and on YouTube, and what we do over here, and rep our brand and our little family we got going on over here. So we gotta rep us for the ohmies, good old ohmies. This is the merch. It is on Teespring. The link will be in the description. Easy enough. Oh, merch. We got a Mondo sweatshirt, the Mondo t-shirt, which I'm wearing right now. The sweatshirt's over there, identical. We have the long sleeve with the logo. We have a mask. We have multiple masks. We have all these variants of the sweatshirts. We have customizable variants. You can customize this variant of the sweatshirt right here, and this one as well. Scam. We got everything you might want here. A mug with O Prestige on it, and a mask with OhChev Love on it, which I wore today at work. And when I went to get food, it was great. It's amazing, super snug, great material, totally worth it. Just letting you guys know, if you're interested, it's an easy way to support the stream. Plus you get a tangible piece of clothing out of it, and it's super dope. We get to rep our little gang. But enough blabbering about the merch, guys. If you're interested, that'd be great. If you're not, that's totally cool as well. I appreciate you for watching the video, and if you watch the streams as well, you're a goat. I'm gonna cut you guys right back to the video. But once again, guys, link will be in the description for the merch. All right, guys, enjoy the video. All right, what's good, YouTube? Today's video is a little different than a usual upload. This is not going to be too much gameplay. It's going to be focused heavily on tips and inside information on how to better yourself and become a better player and be more prepared for the best possible experience you could have with next-gen MLB on the PlayStation 5. Now, we don't have any next-gen games to work with yet, so we don't know what the interface is going to look like or how the game's going to play. But we do have PlayStation 5, and we do have MLB 20, which is a PS4 game, and there aren't too many crazy differences, but the game does play better. There are issues that happened with the game running smoothly on PS4, PS4 Pro. Sometimes it was choppy. You couldn't ever play in a pro park. Lots of input delay in certain times. I'm here to show you guys how to get the best out of your PS5 and how to get the most crystal clear response times, and just overall how to better yourself and be more prepared for the next gen if you want to become a potential top 50 player. I am a top 50 player multiple times, top 10 lifetime player this year, and I'm going to 20 show. Now, take that with a grain of salt. What does it mean? Honestly, not too much, but a lot of people pursue this. I think it's a nice medal to have for yourself, but this year's show, it means a little bit less. The game got a little out of hand, but I have high hopes for 21. I do. I think next gen they're gonna come out banging and they come out firing. I do think, oh my god, I do think you are going to want, gotta relax, game. I do think you're going to want to be on board and ready for this next gen release, and not just get overwhelmed by it, by settings and with the audio, with video settings and picture settings and your PCI and response times and your controller and all this stuff. I think that you'd rather be just have that all knocked out the way and focus on gameplay itself. So let's begin. What are we gonna work with first here? So first and foremost, when you load up the game, this is the easy stuff. This is straight up game settings. User settings, audio and video. There are game resolution options. Faster's 1080p, balance is 1440p, and sharper's 2160p. So crystal clear, sharp images, saturation on 1000. Pick faster. Faster is a lower resolution, still looks good in my opinion, with the best response time. It's just the way you need to have it on faster. If you don't want to have any input delay when you press your button to swing, this is what you need. You don't want your PCI to be all wobbly. You want this. You want things to work properly, pick faster. Next up on the list, to match the 1080p resolution you have, the next thing you should do, that's your in-game resolution. Go to your PS5 and make sure, because this is automatically set when you load this thing up. Screen and video, you go to resolution under video output. Do not have it on automatic. It starts off automatic. It did for me. Select 1080p. Please, I promise you, you will have a response time issue if you don't. Now, those are two things that are knocked out of the... Oh, and also, if you're streaming, little pro tip, turn off HDR. Your capture card won't read your PS5 if you have HDR on. That's a little fun fact. Not for everybody, but for my streamers out there who are interested in streaming the game when it drops. That's the basic stuff to cover off rip. That is the things you need to know for settings. Now, we're going to get into... Okay, we'll go here. We'll go into custom practice. This is more gameplay oriented. I'm going to load my BP roster so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Finding your custom PCI, what you want to work with on a better response time, such as the PS5. Maybe you'll switch up your PCI. Maybe you have it a certain way now because you're used to being a delay or whatever it may be, and you needed to compensate. Whatever it may be the reason you have your settings the way they are. Hear me out. This is what I have noticed from playing this game extensively. I have over 800 something plus ranked games played. You know, hours upon hours on this game. I create content for this game full time. I've been around the block with this, is my point. Not to do my own horn, just telling you I got the experience. Now, go to hitting. I'm going to hit off everyone we know and love. Corey Kluber, the original ace. We'll hit with Griffey, and we'll repeat the play just for the sake of the video. Now, if you look at my PCI, this is on Legend. So you see how my PCI has 80% transparency. You can still pretty much see it well. The idea... That was a good swing. The idea behind you having your PCI 80% for me is that I don't want it 100% transparency, because that just kind of takes up the screen. If you're holding your PCI up in a certain spot to cover that area you're weak in, it kind of blocks the ball off release. Certain pitchers pitching, you lose it in the PCI. 80% works for me on Legend. What I have noticed is if you're someone who bounces up and down tiers, the lower difficulty you are on, the bigger your PCI will be, the lower you want your transparency to be. The PCI at All-Star and Hall of Fame, especially All-Star, gets enormous. Now, if you have a higher transparency, or I should say like 100% per se, or say 100%, it's super thick and hard to see through. You lose the ball behind that. You're going to want something lighter, less transparent, or more transparent, so a lower transparency percentage. So like a 50% is what I like to go with, 50 or 60% on All-Star. Hall of Fame, 60, 70. Generally speaking. Legend, 80, maybe 90, but mostly 80. Even 70 I've tried. You got to feel your way around for this. Colors, in my opinion, don't really matter. It's what your eyes like the best, what you struggle with the least. In my opinion, that matters with the PCI. I personally like cyan. I like the color. That's just what I rock with. I think it stands out well at Ship It, where I play most of my time. It's just a color I like to see on my screen. But if I had to pick a more competitively viable PCI color, I'd probably say a yellow. The default yellow is the best. You don't see many backdrops that are yellow. It's a really very obvious color. It stands out well. Is that a home run? That swing. Look at that, huh? Has to get rewarded. That is it's a little thing you don't really think about, but I've noticed it personally. Now, what do I run PCI wise? I'll show you my settings. I go with circles for the center, inner, wedge, and then nothing else for the outer. I think outer is a little unnecessary and just distracting. All it is really about foul balls. It doesn't really help you out much. Inner is what matters. Cyan is my color. 70% transparency right now. That's what I'm on. I'm on 70% right now on Legend. See? 70% works for me pretty well. What have I gone to PCI wise other than this one? I used to be on full instead of just wedge, but I found that wedge makes me feel more comfortable swinging on inside pitches. You feel less trapped. That's just the way it's just a visual thing. It's not much to it, but you're gonna want in a game with higher response time and you're gonna be less worried about your PCI placement and more worried about timing, because it's gonna be a new feeling. You're gonna want to not focus too much on your PCI, have a lighter transparency, and just focus on watching the ball. You don't want to be distracted by your PCI glaring in your eyeballs. Maybe even go to just the middle one. I used to do middle. If I'm focusing too much on my PCI, I take off the inner and I rock with the center. But right now, this is what I'm rocking with. And pro tip for my newbies out there: if you want to start getting heavy into grinding the show and you want to be as competitive as you can, I recommend playing in minor league parks. The ball travels better there, especially at Ship It with the great batter's eye we have here. Shorter fences, there's a little bit of elevation, I think. The game just plays the best there. You get rewarded the most in a game that kind of scams you a lot of the time with RNG. You want to play here at Pro Parks. They run really smooth on PS5. They're super, super playable. But what I've noticed is that the ball, even sometimes you don't even hit it well and it flies out randomly. But most of the time, even if you square it up, the ball goes nowhere. And no one wants to play a game that where your input doesn't reward you if it's good. Not something you want to do. But those are my overall tips. And also for my newbies out there, pitching. We'll do pitching. Why can't I figure this out? We'll go DeGrom for the sake of it. Switch to analog pitching. Or, yeah, analog. Switch to analog. It's you go down on the tunnel and you flick up. That little indicator up there, that little marker, indicates where you want to reach that. You want to go straight up with this because you're throwing a pitch down the middle of the plate. That's what it looks like. But if you're throwing a slider outside, you see how it moves along with it? It's a bit of an aiming mechanism. It helps you feel like you're getting involved in your pitching. And to be honest, it's not perfect, but it is the most responsive way to pitch. A lot of guys stick with meter. I think it's unreliable. Pulse, even worse. And classic, that's a no-no. These are all things you guys are going to want to do if you want to get off and just get off running. Running start next year for next gen. Take this from me. But please, 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 other than the tips I've given you guys about hitting and pitching, which you could find in other videos on my channel, those are important, but the most important thing is make sure you get those settings down pat. All right, find what works for you, but make sure you turn the graphic settings to faster and 1080p, because before that, before getting into any hitting and pitching stuff, if you don't have that stuff figured out, you're going to be having a really, really rough time trying to figure out why you can't hit, why everything seems a little off. But regardless, guys, if you have any other questions, please, I'll make plenty of videos addressing the issues you guys have until the next gen. We have a lot of time before the next game comes out, so I answer a lot of questions. I'll go deep into it, so make sure you guys just like the video, of course. That'd be great. Get it out there as far as possible. I want everyone to see this so they know how they can have the best possible experience. Comment down below, tell me your thoughts, please, what you want to know, what you want me to hear, what you want to hear me talk more about, and subscribe. And don't forget to put that bell on, guys, because I'm telling you right now, between now and next gen, all the way through next gen release, we're gonna be grinding out content. You're not gonna want to miss it. We're gonna have gameplay videos, tips videos, settings videos, whatever you guys want to see, we're gonna have it here on this channel. I'm gonna explain it in layman's terms so everyone can understand it to the best of my ability. But that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great rest of your day. I'm out this bitch. Bye. All right, what's good, YouTube? Sorry I'm cutting back in. I'm actually rewatching the video. I'm rewatching the video, re-editing it, all this stuff, going over stuff I might have missed. Turns out I missed two very important things that will help you take your game to the next level on MLB The Show 21 on next gen. First thing up, first and foremost, Control Freak. I will link them in the description. I am not affiliated with them. I just really enjoy their product. You're gonna need them for your controller. If you don't already use them, I have an example of two different kinds. These are the alphas, flat, pancakey, give you more of a big surface, a better grip, move around with. This is my PS4 controller, my backup KFs, or ones I feel like using different KFs. But my primary ones I like the most personally, kind of got them by mistake, are the Galaxy FPS KFs. This is on the PS5 controller. I'll show you a better look what it looks like here. I use just one. I actually really like the PS5 analog stick for pitching, so I don't touch it. The hitting side, I use the medium Galaxy. There's a high-rise one and a mid one. I'm using the mid. The high-rise is just too big for the PS5 controller, which is a little bit more elongated than the PS4 controller. But back when I was using a PS4 controller on the PlayStation 4, I used both, and the longer one on the hitting side. Regardless, surf their website, find what you like. I may even recommend a controller grip, because the PS5's back is a little bit of a weird material that makes my hands sweat. If that makes any sense. But most people don't have a problem with it. That's just my personal preference. That's one thing to address, to take care of. Definitely, you need them. You definitely need them. You could be good without them, but you can't get worse with them on. You're going to like it once you get used to it. I promise. Next up, already gone over this in my hitting tips video with hand cam. In case you missed that one, that will be on my channel. I'll link it in the description as well. Go further in depth, but basically you want to make sure you utilize the custom practice feature. Download a custom roster with all of your Diamond Dynasty players. I'm assuming next year they're not going to allow us to go into batting practice with our DD teams, which I think needs to be a feature. But either way, people make custom rosters. This is DD BP, Diamond Dynasty BP, loaded the roster, and sliders. I turned up all of the pitch velocity speeds 3 ticks up because I feel like offline isn't the same as online, even if you're both playing on legend difficulty for both those modes respectively. I turn it up a notch. I want to feel like I'm getting fast up when I'm playing BP. This way, if I'm locked in, I'm hitting the balls in BP, I'm seeding everything. That means once time comes for me to play online on legend, I will have zero problem playing. So that's another thing that will help you take a game to the next level. Make sure you guys utilize that feature. It is right there in your hands. It's easy to do. I never play a ranked game without doing this first. I rarely do unless I'm crunched for time. Mostly I hop in with these sliders and this custom roster. I get my swings in. Perfect way to prepare to play online. Takes you about 10-15 minutes and all that. And that's basically it, guys. That's all I got for you. It's a little bit of a tidbit. I missed it in the original video, but I'll slide this in there somewhere. So make sure you guys utilize that and check the links in the description. Appreciate you guys watching.